So, since this is my first ever knife build, I'm not that familiar with it. So I have made a part of my blank with an angle grinder. So it's not exactly that pretty, but it's my first time, so it might be okay. Now I'll try finish it and fix it up with a belt sander, and hopefully that will give me a nice blank. So I'm almost finished with cleaning it up. Just need to fix this part. It's starting to look a lot cleaner, I must say. Yeah. I'm just gonna go use a Dremel tool to fix this one up. There's gonna be like a dent here, almost like that. Yeah. It's not gonna be 100% knife like that one, but similar. So the handle is going to be a little bit short, so I'm thinking about just removing a tiny bit here, so it can fit like here in my hand, like this, instead of this, because it's very small like that. And I think the blade should still be long enough to be usable. So I'm going to have to start to grind out my bevels. So I'm just gonna mark my line on top. So I marked off where I want my bevels to end on both sides, around there. Now I have to mark my center line, so I'm going to do that right now. So now I've managed to mark my center lines in the middle, all the way, and those lines, and those lines. So I think I'm ready to start making my bevels on the knife. So I'm finished on grinding in my bevels. It's like all the way up on both sides. Pretty even, I must say. Like, I tried to make something here with some weird attachment I had from my Dremel tool, but it didn't came out not that good, so it will just be some small indent there. Or I can maybe just grind out the hole or something, but it's gonna look something like this. Just gonna drill some holes and stuff right now, and let's see what we're ending up with. So I don't have a bench drill yet, like bench press or what it's called, So I'm just gonna use a drill and mark up some holes, and I'm gonna drill them. And it's gonna be good, I think. So now I've drilled out the holes. It went quite decent, so now I just need to polish it up some few places, and I'll try to harden it. I might not have the right equipment, but at least try. So this is the handle scales that I'll be using, and it's a pretty, I think it's a good design actually. It looks quite good. So I'll be using this saw to cut it, because I don't have any power tools for cutting except for an angle grinder, and that wouldn't work here. Yeah, so there, I'm cutting it into some smaller pieces. I'm just gonna sand that this part down, so isn't that like broken, and I think that should be good for now. So now I have to drill out the holes in the scales. So now I'll drill out the holes, the hand scales, and I can try to shape them into the knife almost, onto the how it should look like. So I'm gonna fix it up a bit, and I'm gonna show you it later. So I tried hardening the blade, but my equipment is just not good enough. So I cannot get the high enough temperature. But since it's a part, like, it's my first knife, so it's basically training and all that. So it's not that huge of a problem that I'm not getting a chance to harden it. It's practice. Practice makes perfect. But now I'm just gonna clean it off and try to work on the handles. So I've just finished it. I've finished and cleaning up the blade. So I've taped it, and I think I'm ready to take on the liners and the handle scales, and I think it's gonna look pretty nice actually. It's a pretty nice design on handle scales. The liners, I think it's G10 or something, but I'll fix it up and I'll see you back when I'm starting gluing. So I've just glued it all together, the handle scales and liners, some epoxy. So now I'm just gonna clean up the handle scales, get it back to the actual knife and the tang. Because it's a full tang, I'm just gonna grind it all the way down so we get a nice knife. Then yeah, just let's start right away.
literally just finished cleaning it up with a 600 grit sandpaper, and I'm just gonna use polishing stuff for my... Wow, look at that. And this is my finished result, and I polished it a little bit. I could have done better, but with the attachment I have, it's not that easy. But see, quite shiny, looks quite good, I feel like. Look at that. Let me know what you think of my first ever knife build in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe.